Have you ever wondered, if you are an author, how do you get your books printed in bulk? Where do you go? What do you pay? Is it safe? And what's the ins and outs of using an international printing company? If those are questions that you've asked yourself and you are in the writing space, you're either an author or wanting to become an author, pull up a chair, grab a snack, get something to drink, and come on over. Let's talk about it. So if you're new here, my name is Olivia. I am an author and a writing coach. I have been in the author space for 5 years this year, and I know a little something about self-publishing, using a printing company from overseas, also using a printing company from the United States, and using Amazon, of course, our good old faithful Amazon. So I have used them all. And today I want to talk to you about how to properly vet your overseas, your international printing company. Let's start with the name. You need to make sure that whatever printing company you are desiring to work with, that they have a legit website. You need to be able to find them. Go on the good old Google and type in their company and they pull up. You can also do Alibaba. I've done both, so it depends on you. I will say, if you use Alibaba, it's kind of like a little bit of a black hole. You have to know what you're looking for, or you could be on there for a long time. There is a 12-hour difference. I'm here in the United States, in Michigan. There's usually a 12-hour difference between China and the United States, depending on the part of China too. So by the time you send them a message and they respond to the message, it could be a few days. So I will also say that you can look on LinkedIn and find printing companies on there. You can go to Google. There are different ways that you can find them. However you land on, I would say get 2 to 3 potential companies that you want to work with and then vet them. Find out, make sure they have a proper website. Make sure you have a person, a contact person, the front runner person that you will be communicating with through the entire process. I usually speak to the front runner, the person, the representative for the printing company. I usually speak to them on video chat, on WhatsApp. I've also used Skype. Yes, Skype is still a thing. I've also used Skype to have face-to-face live video conversation. So vetting the company is super important. Make sure they have a website. That's number one. The other thing I want to talk about is MOQ. That's minimum order quantity. And a lot of the overseas printing company, they prefer for you to buy a larger amount of books, right? So I will say, don't feel pressured to do that. If the company that you found, if they're pressuring you to order, say 500 or 300, they're not the right one for you. I do not believe that it is in your best interest, especially if you're just starting out as an author, especially if you don't have a solid, large client base. I would say do not order more than 100 books your first few times, because potentially you will still have those books wherever you decide to store them, whether it's a storage space, whether it's your basement, or whether it's your garage or some other storing facility. You could potentially have those books on hand that you're stuck with for a long time. So what has worked the best for me is to order a smaller MOQ, let's say 50 or let's say 30. You have to find the number that best work for you, and you order that, and when they sell, then you can always reorder more. But do not feel pressured to stick to the supplier's MOQ, right? Yes, there is benefits to ordering more, larger quantities. For example, the cost per book will go down the more you order. If you order a smaller amount, because they go by weight, the shipping cost will also deviate. So you have to decide what is the best option for you. My first time around, I made a mistake. I went with what the printing supplier recommended, and ordered a large number of books. This was in pandemic, and my books got lost on a freight in the ocean somewhere. So there was a whole situation. But I learned, and I want you to learn from my mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes on your own. So start out with a small MOQ, small minimum order quantity. Okay, so we covered ordering small. Don't just start big. We went over making sure that the company has a website, a legit website, and also making sure that you are talking to the same person through the entire process of you ordering your books. I want to talk about another tip here, and that is, how do you send your manuscript file to this printing company? I recommend a Google link, because it's secure. Everybody has some kind of Google account, so it's easy to access. Once you've given them the private link and you said, you choose the option of whoever has this link, will have access to the document. I don't recommend sending a Canva link, because not everybody has a Canva account. So I prefer for you to use a Google Drive link. If your book is small in numbers of pages, you can just attach it in an email. But for books that are 80 pages or more, the file is going to be too large for you to be able to send it in your email. So you will definitely need a link of some kind. If you've spoken to the company and they have a Canva account, then yes, you can use the Canva link. But 9.5 times out of 10, everybody has access to a Google account, and a Google link will work every single time. So that was tip number 3. Tip number 4 is, when you're going through your vetting process, you found a company you want to work with, you're sending them your file, you're excited about the price and the time that they'll have your books to your front door, wherever that is. Do not, I repeat, let me say it louder for those of you in the back so you can hear. Do not just order your inventory, your books, without first seeing a physical proof. Did y'all catch that? Do not send them a dime and hint to them, say to them, yes, just print it up and send it to me. There are printing companies that will talk you into, we'll just show you the proof on the computer and then you place your order. Well, what if when your books arrive to you, the coloring is not right, the layout is not right, there were errors in your book that you didn't catch? You're now stuck with these books that you can't sell at full price. Do not, I repeat, do not order your books without first having a physical proof of the book in hand, right? You will also have printing companies that will send you a proof, but they won't send you a proof of the full book. They'll just do a few pages. Don't do that either. It needs to be a complete book proof that they will mail to you. I will tell you this, heads up, it is a cost for sending your proofs. For example, this particular supplier that I'm working with, I'm ordering 100 books because the price is better for 100 books, and I'm pretty secure in that I'll be able to sell those 100 books within a short period of time. It's a devotional, right? So it's 600 and change. That's including all the fees, that's including all the shipping, and that's for 100 of my devotionals, right? Real life scenario here. The proof for one book is $80. Yeah, it's a bit pricey, but is it worth it? Is it worth you investing that initial $80 to see your complete book in all its glory, so you can find any mistakes, you can know if the paper quality is good, if the font, if the ink, if the coloring, if all the things are good? Is it worth the $80 to know that it's good and you can move forward, or to know that it's not good, you need to change a few things, they need to change a few things, so you are not then stuck with inventory that you cannot sell for a full price to recoup your investment? For me, it's worth it. For me, it's worth it because I want to make sure that I am putting out the very best quality of my devotion, of my journal, fill in the blank of whatever kind of book. So I highly recommend, this is a tip that I highly recommend, get a full, complete copy as a proof before you go any further. If you don't hear me say anything else on this video today, I want you to hear that. I want you to write it down. Hear that. Do not proceed without first getting a full, complete proof of your book. All right. Moving on to the next tip is payment, right? There is so many scams and all kinds of situations with scams going on in the world. Suppliers will try to tell you all kinds of things. Only send your payment through one of two ways, because you will then on the back end have a recourse if stuff gets messed up. PayPal or credit card. Both of them will give you a level of protection. If something goes wrong, say they don't ship your stuff, you can dispute that with your credit card company, or you can dispute that with PayPal and then have a recourse to get your money back. Don't do no bank transfers. Do not do a bank transfer. For one, you're going to incur $36-ish additional fee if you're going to do a bank transfer. And personally, I don't feel good with bank transfer because they have too much of your information right there. And I don't like that. So it's a personal thing. Put in the comments below if you are in the author space or you're a business owner and you buy inventory from manufacturers overseas. Have you had any, let's say, challenging events around bank transfers or payments? I'm curious to know. I have not, because the tip that I'm sharing with you has been what I have used, which is to pay via PayPal or to pay with my business credit card. That way it gives me some protection and some backdrop. So guys, those are the tips I wanted to share with you if you are in the author space and you're wanting to order your books in bulk using a overseas printing company, because typically their price point is a lot better than printing your products within the United States. I wish it wasn't true, but it's a fact. I wish we could fix that. So these are the tips and tricks I want you to ingrain, to include in your practicing of vetting your companies through LinkedIn, making sure they have a website. You can use Alibaba, but it's going to take you some more time because it's a black hole, right? working with, speaking to, communicating with one person through the company from the beginning of your vetting process to when your stuff get delivered at your front door or at your office or wherever you choose to have them deliver. Right? To make sure that you order the MOQ, minimum order quantity, that you are most comfortable with. Don't feel pressured to buy 1,000 of something that you don't know you have the capability to sell, and therefore it's not going to be sitting in your garage or your basement or a storage facility for months and months and years and years and years. Right? Start small. Once those move, then you can reorder, right? Also, to make sure that you order a physical proof of your entire book, the cover, the inside cover, the pages, everything, right? To make sure you have the full physical proof of your book. Yes, spend that extra coins to make sure your stuff is right before you're stuck with a bunch of stuff that ain't right that you can't sell. And then to make sure that you are paying through PayPal or a credit card in case something goes wrong in the milk. You have some sort of way to file a report or file a claim and get your money back. I hope that you find this video helpful if you're in the author space specifically, but these tips also work for if you are, say you have an online boutique or you have a physical boutique and you are selling products and you're wanting to use manufacturers overseas. These tips also work for that. So I want to thank you so much, guys, for stopping by my channel today. I hope that you found this video so helpful. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so now and hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.